are so many types of cyber crimes, like identity theft. They call the parents of the person, they demand for money. Digital arrest. There is nothing called arresting via WhatsApp or any other social media calling system. Ganja is provided, some other forms of drugs are provided. Police should enter and curb it. Everybody should enter as a constable, and a constable should grow up and he should become the Director General. Everybody should know Manav Dharma, the law of the human being.
Biggest inspiration?
Be Buddha, Basavanna, B.R. Ambedkar.
Welcoming you all to the Poster Show. Today with us we have a very influential guest who's going to talk on the most pressing issues of the Indian Police Service. Who else can explain it better? He is the ADGP, Additional General of Police and Additional Commandant Home Guards, also the ex officio Additional Director, Civil Defence Bangalore. Our guest, Mr. N. Nanjunda Swamy, IPS, who is also known for his distinguished service and his knowledge in law and enforcement. So let's get started. Welcoming you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, first of all, we would like to know if you could share a little about your journey. What led you into the law and enforcement career?
Very good. I'm a mining engineer from NIT K. Surathkal. After my mining engineering degree, I worked as a mining engineer in Goa, then in Jharkhand. While working in Jharkhand, Hazaribagh district, plenty of my friends, they were preparing for UPSC, and in that environment of those who were preparing for UPSC, I decided to leave the environment in which I was living as mining engineer. So I took the UPSC exam seriously. God's grace, I passed and I joined Indian Police Service.
What does your typical workday look like?
Very beautiful, very interesting and cherishing moment every day. Like I do get up, get ready, and plenty of people come and meet me at my residence, my relatives, my friends, and I am having interest in several fields, including literature, research and all that. People from that kind of field, they come and meet me, they talk, and some others also seeking help, police help, they come and meet me. And after meeting those people, I have my lunch, I can say, or I have normal food at home, and then I proceed to the office. There I have meetings with my officers. Then I may have meetings with the people who wait for me or the come to visit me. And then I do run through the files and clear files of our department. And we do receive plenty of calls, emergency calls, and our people would be attending and they report to me. And we have interactions and so many issues related to fire and emergency and SDRF issues that we attend to. And then there will be some meetings with the senior officers and other dignitaries almost every day, and we attend to that. And goes on. There will be special occasions, special works, and what I am saying is I can say a normal day.
What is the untold secret of a police life?
What is untold? There is nothing secret about policeman. Everything is open, and I think there is nothing which is hidden as a secret.
Why did you choose IPS as a career rather than IAS or IRS?
Yeah, I got my IPS in my second attempt, and in the third attempt also, I wrote my UPSC. I could not make it because in the third attempt, vacancies were less. Even though I scored more, I could not get. Later, I got my Karnataka cadre. And once I got Karnataka cadre, I got satisfied. I didn't feel like writing the exam again or pursuing for IAS or whatever.
So, what is the role of a home guard and self defense? When are they put at work?
Yeah, home guards and civil defense. Like home guards, you can say they walk in with a police department, and they are the, I can say, the brothers of the police department and all the emergency and the men in uniform, like they are brothers of the men in uniform. Even though they are volunteers, and they are just taken as, they are given only honorarium, not a regular salary, but their role in helping the police department, the society, various departments of the government is immense. And without them, some of the departments can't even run regularly. They can't do their regular activities. They're so important. And civil defense is an organization which helps the society in cases of emergencies, several types of emergencies, not to mention them here. They help the society and the people who maintain the law and order in the society. For them, they help.
So, is film industry defaming the image of a police officer?
See, there are so many movies where police is shown in a good light, like Sarfarosh and Malayalam movie, Orud, CBI Diary Kurup. Such so many movies are there where police officer is a hero. So, like I'll tell you, it all depends upon the writers and directors. Like based upon the story, police is shown in the dark light or a bright light. So we need not worry much about it, and we should not outright say they are defaming when they are actually making us strong, famous. Like you can see the Sangliana part 1, 2, 3, whatever, where Shankar Nag acted, where an IPS officer, Sangliana, a retired IPS officer, his story is taken and movies were made. And IPS Kempaya, about him movie is made, where IPS officer is shown in a very nice tone. And even there is a movie called Swami, where Darshan has acted. An iota of my biography is also there in that movie, and they have taken and they have shown it in a very beautiful manner. And all these movies have become super hit movies. So we should not say like that.
What is more dangerous according to you? Is it the cybercrime or the organized crime?
Cyber crime is also an organized crime. Cyber crime is also an organized crime because those who commit cyber crimes, most of them, they have call centers, they have their own cyber equipments and all that. And of course, organized crime, you may be thinking about the traditional organized crimes. Yes, traditional organized crimes like kidnapping, human trafficking, weapon trafficking, drug trafficking, this is all done by the syndicates and smuggling. All these are done by syndicates and organized criminals. At the same time, this cyber crime, it's growing leaps and bounds. And I would like to say that even the cyber crime is an organized crime.
So, can you tell us some of the most recent cyber crimes that you've come across which are very active in India?
Yeah, there are so many types of cyber crimes like identity theft and using identity theft. They call the parents of the person or the relatives of the person. They demand for money, saying some emergency has arisen, and they steal the information from the Facebook, and they create false accounts in the Facebook and elsewhere, and they send a friend request to the original account holder, and they ask for the money. This is one kind of a scam cyber criminals are doing. And there is something called digital arrest. That's also happening. About that, several police officers have already given interviews, and a lot is written in the media about that. People should know that there is nothing called arresting via WhatsApp or any other social media calling systems. So there is nothing like that. So people should be aware of it, and they should not give their OTPs online or on over the phone. They should not give, and to unknown person they should not transfer the money. I would like to tell only this much because it's that subject itself is too huge and too big.
So, how do you first curb law and order in case of a riot?
Very interesting. I go, I love the people who are doing the rioting, and if I know the people, at least some of the people who are in the rioting, they may be known to me, are known to some of our police officers. I choose the people who know them. I tell them to convince them to control themselves, and this is a very certain method and a very subtle method of controlling them. And the last resort would be lathi charge and other methods. The last resort. The best method is always convincing the people and befriending them. Most of them we know them. Those who organize such protest marches, most of them are well-known organizations. If we have a good rapport with them, I don't think these kind of things will happen unless otherwise it's a sudden provocation.
Which was the most difficult case in your journey as a police officer?
No case is so difficult. Every case has got a procedure. Every case has got a time limit to investigate. Things have sorted out. I don't say anything is so tough.
People usually think politics and police go hand in hand. So, what is your opinion in that?
See, the leaders and the police, they come from the same society, and they work for the society, and a mutual understanding between the two is always good, and it helps. It's not that it is counterproductive. It is very, very productive.
So, in your previous role as a Deputy Commissioner of Police, the Bangalore city, what are some of the initiatives that you have made and implemented which could make the system better?
Plenty. Like community policing was there, and taking interacting with the people of various categories, like drivers, Dalits, and women folk, students, and farmers, and meeting them on different platforms, formally and informally, and that helped in bringing together the police and the public, and it helped in maintaining the law and order.
So, with evolving nature of crime and public safety threats, how do you think that one citizen should take care of himself?
People have to be careful about their belongings, about their life, about their honor also these days, because shaming is a big industry. They have to take care of. They should not, as far as possible, they should protect their identity also. And whenever they come across something wrong happening, whenever they see something wrong happening, they should inform the police and protect themselves.
How do you envision the future of policing in India?
Policing in India is evolving, and it is day by day it's a bettering. I tell you, now the physical crimes which happen in the streets, they are coming down. The number of those are coming down, and the organized crime on the net, on the cyber crime, that's increasing. People have to be aware of that, and they have to be prepared for that. And police is gearing up to handle such kind of situations.
What are some of the emerging challenges that you've come across?
Emerging challenges for the department, plenty. Nowadays, the technology is advancing at a very high, fast speed, and the criminals are using every new technology that comes to the market to exploit the innocent. And the challenge is the police has to gear up to catch the cyber criminals and the criminals who are using the new technologies. And police has to learn and develop their skill sets to catch such criminals. That's the bigger challenge these days.
What are some of the most common misconceptions you come across about the policing department which people have?
People have plenty. People have, they don't know, they cannot distinguish between different ranks in the police department. So that is, there are a lot of misconceptions about that. And people have several other misconceptions like police is the last resort for, or the first resort for everything. They have that kind of things. Like a cat falls into the well, people will call the police. Whereas they can call the fire and emergency service or some other service. If a snake comes to their house, people call the police. And so many issues, like not to mention, so many issues. People think police is capable of solving each and everything. And of course, police, they rise up to the occasions. They solve those issues in their own right, even though most of the times that doesn't fall under their purview of duties.
So, a lot of youths are emerging into the drug cadres. So, especially in the bigger cities. What is your take on that?
Actually, we have to be more, what I should say, vigilant to catch the criminals who are selling, procuring, distributing the drugs, and we have to be very, very strict on those people. I think the severe punishment has to be given to them. And even at the schools, colleges, in the parties, and even in the some private companies, use big multinational companies in their parties. I've come to know some people do say that ganja is provided, some other forms of drugs are provided. These kind of things, irrespective of the name of the institute, name of the college, name of the company, police should enter and curb it. And otherwise, this will keep growing, and people will start thinking this is normal, and this is not out of the box. So I think we should be very strict on that.
There are often criticisms about the police behavior in India. How do you see this concerning the police department?
I know. You know one thing, being nice to the people is a skill. Very unfortunately, most of the people are not born with that skill. Definitely, we can educate and train the people to develop this skill, but it's not possible to observe and ensure a nice behavior from every human being. And police are not out of the group. But I would always keep telling to our people, be nice to the people. For simple reason that they are the same people who are going to help you in the case of law and order and in detecting the cases. So be nice to the people.
Do you believe that police officers get enough support for their mental health being?
It all depends upon like what kind of mental health he wants, what kind of mental peace he wants. Government provides enough in the form of the salary, perks, plus people like our government provides the accommodation, vehicles, and proper environment to sit and work in the offices. All these things should be sufficient for him. Even the work pressure may be more. Maybe at times, on some occasions, it may be more. It doesn't mean that if a person is not able to handle such situations, better he should take some rest for few days. Then he can resume his work.
So, what is one crime, in your opinion, should have more strict punishment?
Drugs cases.
If you could have the time bound to visit back in your past, which is that one moment you would like to change?
Not a single moment. Everything has happened properly, appropriately.
If you could change one thing in the police system, what would that be?
I'll tell you. There should be only one single entry to the police department. Everybody should enter as a constable, and a constable should grow up, and he should become the Director General of Police and retire. Not that like so many entries, like at a constable level, sub inspector level, DYSP level, assistant SP level. There are 4 entries. If I am capable of doing, I will make one policy change that everybody in the police department should enter as a constable.
What is the most satisfying moment in your career?
There are plenty. There are plenty. See, one day, one minister, he met me in a place, and he was telling to another minister about me. Sir, ಇವ್ರು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ me and my family would have died. Means, sir, if he was not there at that moment, me and my family would have died. He told this. Because in an occasion, I rushed to the spot where he was being attacked by people and protected his family and him. So, when he told that, I was very happy. After so many years, this incident happened in 99, and he told this in 2008.
It's always saving lives is a prestigious thing.
This is a satisfactory thing. God bless.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity, golden opportunity given by the God. That is a blessing given by the God to protect the people.
So we are going to have a small rapid fire round. One law you wish that every citizen should know.
Everyone should know, not the Indian Penal Code or BNS, whatever, or Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam, not that. Everybody should know Manav Dharma, the law of the human beings.
Who is your biggest inspiration?
B, B, B. Buddha, Basavanna, B.R. Ambedkar.
One word that defines your journey.
Cherishing journey.
What is your favorite destination?
My favorite destination, my birthplace.
And which is that?
Malavalli.
Right. So, which is the favorite food that you crave the most?
Okay. There are plenty. You want only one word. I will say Ragi Mudde.
Best thing about being an IPS?
Best thing being an IPS officer is we are with people.
If not cop, what would you choose for your career?
I love to be a farmer.
One thing people don't know about you.
People don't know so much about me. And one thing means there are so many things people don't know. And okay, anyway, I will tell. In my childhood, I used to graze cattle.
One message to criminals.
My dear criminals, don't do it. Today or tomorrow will perish.
Who's your favorite celebrity?
Why to have a celebrity as favorite? Huh? Anyway, celebrities are there. Like I have friendship with so many of them. Not to mention.
If there's one message you would like the youngsters to know and some lesson that they should follow in their young life, what would that be?
I have one message everywhere, wherever I go. I keep saying, we all are Indians. Our religion, Indian. Our holy book is Constitution of India. Manam. And in Kannada, I have another message. ಬುದ್ಧನ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯೋಣ. Let us walk the path paved by the Buddha. ಶರಣರ ವಚನಗಳ ಪಾಲಿಸೋಣ. The words given by the Shiva Sharanas, like Basavana and all that. Let us follow that. ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರರ ಕಾನೂನಾತ್ಮಕ ಧರ್ಮವ ಆಚರಿಸೋಣ. The religion given by Ambedkar in the form of the constitution and the laws written under that. Let us follow that.
I hope you all enjoyed our today's guest, Mr. M. Nanjunda Swami, IPS, who shed some light on the law and governance. Until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, do let us know in the comment section what topic are you waiting for in this channel. Bye bye, take care.